What's up, guys? We're back here in Archeage Unchained. One last guide here before the launch of the servers, and let's talk about trade packs. So trade packs are pretty much the core of Archeage. You put on a backpack and you take it from one point to another point to deliver it and get money, gold, and a lot of people make their money by trade packing and staging packs on houses and farms and so forth. That was a big part of the Archeage economy, and if you'd watched my old videos, you'd noticed a trend that I hated trade packs with a passion. They were like, I thought they're complete garbage, and I still dislike trade packs significantly because of the time that is required to actually transfer said trade packs, and especially in a new launch on a server, when you have to physically walk or donkey a trade pack, it's a lot of time and effort for one trade pack. When you actually get a car and haulers and things like that, and you can transport, 10, 12 trade packs at a time, it becomes a little bit better. But the silver per gold ratios or the silver per labor ratios were never really good on trade packs. That might actually change a little bit here with Archeage Unchained. So let's take a look at some of the new trade packs that are really good, actually. So we're over here in Unister, and we're going to just show off the trade packs here. There's a couple new ones for people that aren't familiar. You have your Guildastar trade packs, which every zone has. You have your Commerce specialty one, so standard pack for each zone. There's also now a resident trade pack. This trade pack can only be purchased if you are a resident, which means you have a house in this zone. So I personally do not have a house in Unister, so I cannot purchase this trade pack, which that's going to give you added value because there's going to be less competition turning these trade packs in, and they're probably going to stay closer to that 130% value on trade pack. But the one trade pack that is actually the best trade pack that there is right now is this one right here, and it's in several different zones as well. So this is the Unister pack, and you can see it requires one blue salt bond and then one of each of the basic pigments: small root pigment, small seed oil, and opak polish. It costs 600 labor. That's a whopping amount of labor that you're going to be spending on this. But I personally actually love this because one of the downside with the trade packs was that in order to spend enough labor to like your 5,000 labor, you had to do a ton of trade packs, which now would eat up a ton of your time. Whereas if you're doing 5,000 of these packs, 5,000 labor worth of these packs, you only need like 8 of them. So this is a very good amount of labor spent on trade packs, and it gets you an insane amount of money. So I'll show you the turn-ins, but roughly what this is, when you craft this pack and you turn it in somewhere else, you're going to get about 90 gold. A little bit less, a little bit more, depending on possibly the location and the percentage and stuff like that. So let's take a look here. 900 gold for 600 labor, and then the turn-in is, I believe, 70 labor to turn in. So that's almost, let's say 700 labor for 90 gold. Now you have to factor in the mat cost. On a new server, these are going to be kind of expensive. You can see it's going to use the onyx and then flowers. The flowers should be fairly cheap, but again, new server, same thing. Corn, rice. And these mats don't change. So this special trade pack is in a lot of zones. It's not in every single zone, but it's in a lot. And we'll show up a list in a second here. So the basic mats are very cheap. So generally these pigments ended up being around 10 gold on the old servers. So let's just average and say that they're 10 gold on these servers. Even at the beginning of the server, it should still be roughly around 10 gold for these things. So that's 30 gold right there. And then you have this blue salt bond. The blue salt bond you get through doing daily quests for the community centers, and then also family, like a family-ish style quest can give you these as well. These are fairly easy to get. There's also a couple killing quests that can give you these. They're also used for other different things. So you can turn them in for Ionod and Delphinod weapons and armor. So that's a big value for them. You have to spend a ton of them. You have to spend 100 or 200 to get those weapons or armors, and it's only one thing. You can also trade them in for honor points. So they have a lot of different usages. And I don't know, like if you like to trade pack and if trade packing is your thing and you want to burn labor, this might be a great option. So we'll go ahead and craft this pack. and then you go take it to return it and show you just, how much gold it gives. And then they also have this cool feature that shows you all the pack turn-in prices. So as we're doing that, let's go ahead and look at some of the other packs, because like I said, they're in most zones. So I typed in pack in the folio here, and now let's see. So here we go. We have the residence packs, and this is the Nuyen side. So you can see it's in 5 different zones, and they all take the same mats. Harani side, we have 5 different zones, and they all take the same mats. So I feel like these are going to be highly contested, and people are going to be running these quite a bit because the payouts are insane. Let's go show you the payouts. So look at that, guys. 91 gold, and we simply just took it from Unister to Divinil. And if we move it all the way over to the Sol's Headlands, we'll probably get like 95 gold or whatever. A little bit more, but not worth the extra time and effort. But like, that's insane. So the trade pack prices have jumped way up. So we're going to go ahead and sell this, get our 91 gold right there. One of the cool things is that you can actually look at all of the values and see how much they're paying for said trade pack. So we can see here that even some of these, the Gildastar ones, are all the way up to 30, 35. A pretty decent amount of gold. So Gildastar trade packs may be worth it as well. We got one up to 42 right there. These ones that are only worth around 10 to 12 gold, probably wouldn't recommend. The specialty ones, these are kind of like the basic packs from each zone, if I remember correctly. The local specialties are the ones that only the township owners can actually craft. And these ones people will actually run because I believe you can get vocation badges and those blue salt bonds from doing these possibly. So those things might have, a decent turn in value, and then also the vocation badges and other things and quests will push them up over the edge. We'll run one of those. But if we go towards the end here, and you can see the age packs. So age packs, people used to love age packs, but to me, they're not worth it anymore. 22 gold, 21 gold, 22 gold. I mean, honestly, I didn't like packs before, but with age packs, not only did you have to craft the larder, but then you had to wait the 3 days or so for them to become aged. It was too much time involved in those, and now they're not worth hardly anything. 20 gold is nothing after investing 3 days, having land, and all the other hidden cost of having those kinds of things. There's Hasla, at least it's up to 34, which, decent amounts. So this is really cool, seeing all the different trade packs in the game. There's also these other ones that are very, very expensive. So these ones are here, 34, 25, 41. These ones get up even higher, 48, 61. These ones are from special boss drops. So you'll fight the world bosses, and afterwards there's a rift, and you can get this material for defeating the minions and stuff after the rift. And those actually make really good trade packs. We'll go ahead and show you the mats required for those in a second. But the last page here, here's all the big ones that we were just talking about. 88, 88, 86, 91, 97. So much gold. So for me, time is worth a ton of money and gold in anything. Especially here in Archeage when time is valuable, and there's so many daily quests now that you want to do a lot of these daily quests because they reward you handsomely. You don't have all this extra time to run trade packs or things like that. Like, you really want to be efficient using your labor and using your time wisely in game, so you can actually do the fun things like PvP and arenas and explore the world and whatever is your jam in the game. So I'm highly, highly, highly happy with these packs. I don't think I'm ever going to really run them, personally. They do give around 10 silver per labor when you factor in the mats that you had to pay and the labor. A little bit less. But for trade packs, this is a great thing. This is something that I think anyone that is involved in commerce is going to be really, really thankful and enjoying. It's also going to help the economy a little bit because people are going to want those pigments again. So that's going to be helping out the alchemist crafters and be like, okay, we have a reason for these pigments, because those pigments aren't really used for much anymore because you don't craft weapons and armor. So let's take a look at these other packs. These packs that drop from bosses. So let's go this one. The Hasla Schmitter. And so it takes 1 Ghost Blade. And so yeah, you get this from the Dragon's Flame and Hasla. and it takes 100 iron ingots, which is very, very cheap. That's going to be like 2 gold, 3 gold, maybe less than that. So it's a, boss drop item, and then like 3 gold, and you turn it in for 60 gold, 61 gold. That's insane. And then it's only going to cost you 130 labor. So in the value from there is pretty much about maybe 55 gold profit. So those packs will definitely be valuable. And those things are something that you're going to want to do. And you want to do the boss fights anyway, because you get tons of great rewards. There's daily quests for those as well. They're going to be in your Arc Pass. You're going to have boss quests in there as well. So you're always going to be wanting to do those. You're going to get the gold lock box from those monsters, which you're going to need for looted gems and advanced crafting in the game. Like, yeah, these are the packs that I think that are actually worthwhile. And if I were to do trade packs, I would be doing these packs pretty much exclusively. Everything does depend on how the economy shakes out, though. Because if everyone and their mother is doing these packs and they drop down to like, what is it? I think it's 70% is the cheapest it goes. They may not be that valuable. And if the crafting mats are really, really expensive, if they're like 15 gold for each pigment, you're going to not get that much value out of these packs anymore. So everything, again, depends on supply and demand, but these packs are amazing, and they are very, very simple and easy to make, and you do not need to be a resident. So you do not have to have a residency to have these packs. Anyone can craft these packs, and both sides has 5 of them. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys soon.